Hi, I'm Mike. I'm going to go over a little bit about diabetes today, so you know what it is and know how it affects you. There are three separate types of diabetes. It's type 1, type 2, and gestational diabetes. Type 1 is typically more of a serious condition. People with type 1 diabetes will use insulin shots and typically can use some medication to help control it. Type 2 diabetes, sometimes people will use the insulin shots, and they'll also control their diabetes using medication based on the doctor's recommendation. Gestational diabetes is when a woman who is pregnant develops more of a diabetic condition. It's a natural process, and once the baby is born, then the woman goes back to having a normal, healthy body again. It's important with all types of diabetes to monitor your blood sugar level. Type 1 diabetes, blood sugar needs to be monitored every single day, and typically this will happen morning, afternoon, and night. Type 2 diabetes, that just needs to be monitored more on a regular basis. It could be every day, it could just be one time a week. It really depends on what the doctor recommends. When you test your blood sugar, you want your blood sugar to have between 130 and 70 milliliters or milligrams per deciliter of sugar in the blood. You don't want it to be over or under those two numbers. You want it to be right in between. Now that we've covered that, I want to go over a little bit on how to help keep your body help keep your diabetes under control. There are medications that can help, but there's also eating right. I think that's an important aspect of it. When you're eating, you want about 45 to 60 grams of carbohydrates with every meal. You should know that carbs are what really affects your blood sugar. When you eat carbohydrates, your body processes it, and it turns the carbohydrates into a sugar. That sugar is then circulated throughout your body in your blood, and that's what causes high sugar levels. Carbohydrates are found in starchy foods such as breads, potatoes, pastas. Any type of grain or starch food that you can think of will have carbohydrates in it. With every meal, in addition to carbohydrates, you're supposed to have a serving of vegetables and a serving of protein. This could be steak, chicken, fish, anything that has a good level of protein in it. You should also have a serving of fruit and carbs. Carbs aren't something that you can avoid in meals. It's important to have a balanced diet, but what you need to monitor is the portion size of the carbs that you're eating. You don't want it to be your entire plate, but you do want it to be a portion of your meal. With other food groups, such as fruits and vegetables, you want about a half cup of each at every meal. Vegetables don't have any carbohydrates in it, but you should know that fruit does. The reason for this is because there's also that natural sugar in the fruit. Having about a half cup, and measuring out your portions all together. That's going to really help you have a balanced diet and eat healthy. For a person with diabetes, it should also be monitoring what they eat and recording that. The doctors are going to ask you what your blood sugar levels are after you eat. When you test your blood sugar levels after you eat, you don't want to test it immediately after you eat. You want to wait about 2 hours. This is because right as you eat, your body's working hard to digest all the food, and your blood sugar really spikes at that point. That's not accurate reading. You want to wait a little bit until your blood sugar plateaus off and reaches a sustainable level. That's the level that the doctor is wanting. So with the use of medication, eating right, and monitoring your blood sugar, that will help you with diabetes remain healthy and keep your body under control.